Alright guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Beastmen led by Martinius versus Norsca, who's going to be helmed by Mr. Razak here on Borderlow Landing. So yes, it's going to be Beastmen versus Human Beastmen. We got the caveman coming in from the waters. Apparently they learned some maritime skills and they do have some boats out there. And they've landed on the shores and the Beastmen are like, hey, this is our village to raid. So we're going to fight over this and see who gets the loot of this lovely Bretonnian village. Now, looking at the mainline army here for the great Martinius. It is going to be Zangors with a couple spears, a Bray Shaman of Traderkin casting, a Gorbel, not bad against Norsca. You can certainly fight against Wolfric, for example, on horseback, or Throg, or Mammoths, any number of targets. Wargor on Chariot, also a nice utility piece. Charge bonus of 99 is no joke, and it gives you some nice grinding against infantry. The rest of the build's got to be very Giga Chad. Homies coming in with Bestigors. So we got 1, 2, and 3 Bestigors, as well as Korok's Manrippers. I'm loving this build from Martinius. Super cool stuff. Now, looking at the build here for Norsca and Mr. Razak, he does have the very strong and nowadays meta's Marauder Icewolf Chariots. Great at clearing out infantry. They have armor-piercing throwing axes, and they're very, very tough to kill as well. Shaman Sorcerer Fire is normally very good against Beastmen, but against this Bestigor-centric build, it might not actually be like super insane. It'll still be good when he starts to call in some low armor targets, but against the big armor of the Bestigors, not going to be as brutal. Manticores are good hero hunters and character hunters, so sicking that on a great Bray Shaman or anything you want to shut down is always a good choice. Couple of Marauder Spearmen, Condom Wolves in the back, Wolfric the Wanderer, and that is going to be all she wrote. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Let's have some fun, see what's cooking here. As the Chariot's going to be running away, maybe getting a throwing axe attack on the Wargor. Nope, didn't quite get it. Looks like they did not have Fire at Will on. Martinius going to be taking Objective 1, and Mr. Razak going to be posturing up here on Objective 2. And it looks like maybe a trader can attempt on the 2 Chariots. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. They're pretty good value. I mean, they're expensive pieces, expensive-ish. So catching him with a Traderkin could be good. Granted, at this point in the game, his opponent's probably very much on guard, so you want to wait till maybe they blob up a little bit more. Because with these Chariots, people tend to blob them with infantry pits, and then you can really get a lot of value there, right? All right, Wargor and Gorbel waiting in the wings, as we do see the Bestigors advancing up, and the Zangors. So far, though, Norsca holding on to the point. Burning Head character is scouting. I mean, Burning Head is okay against Zangors. Zangors, though, do have the Protoss shields. Couple spears coming in. Now, this is what you would want to be using Burning Head on right there. These 2 units, just butter that bread, get that 600 gold value off both of them, and call it a day. Laura Boats is active as well. Laura Boats, I believe, does have better armor piercing, 35%. And by the way, I didn't come up with Laura Boats. Credit where credit is due. That was the great Dog plays. He taught me that one when we cast it together once, and I thought it was just brilliant. Korok's Manrippers and Bestigor Herds going to be cruising up, but the Chariots find a weakness in the army, and now these little doggies going to be running through and getting a nice little punch on some of the great weapons. Now, how much damage are we looking at here? Looks like about 10% HP, maybe 7 or 8%, but still very, very good value. Beastmen going to be pulling Gorbel over, as well as the Bray Shaman and the Korok's Manrippers. And we do see a Traderkin activated here, which is going to be nailing that Marauder Icewolf. Oh, it's actually a Devolve? Oh, Devolve slows them down. Okay, interesting. So he's trying to slow down the Chariot, allowing the Gorbel as well as the infantry to connect a little bit better. Okay, I don't hate that. Fight continues to rage on. Minotaurs with great weapons in the backside going to be called in response to the Chariots, as well as the Manticore and the Condom Wolves. And one of the Chariots takes a bit of damage, but another Burning Head, or first Burning Head activated, doesn't do much against Bestigors, but going to be tickling these Ungors. But Ungors are happy for this fight to get in with these Skin Wolves, but man, that Wargor got bullied bad by those Skin Wolves. Man, look at his HP, down to 2,300. So very, very nice picks there for Mr. Razak. Laura Boats activated. Looks like it did get through the Bestigors and do some respectable damage, as the 2 army lines are going to be clashing now. And there's the Traderkin. So Traderkin and Marauders, Shaman, and also tickling the pickle of the Icewolf Chariot. So pretty good Traderkin. Getting a nice little 3-for-1 right there, as on the backside we do see the great weapons arriving in. And the Beastmen do have the command over the objective. Norsca, though, going to be calling in some elite infantry of their own. Now, Brutes of the Hound do not have the best armor piercing, but honestly, with 57 melee attack and how hard hitting they are, and their bonus versus infantry, they'll probably do a respectable job at getting through Bestigor, simply just due to stat checking them. On the backside, Traderkin activated again. Nope, going to be Devolve. I was going to say the cooldown on that should still be going. And the Manticore dove in to fight the great weapons, actually. So maybe he breaks the Minotaur's charge using the Manticore and then tries to swarm them with Skin Wolves. But even still, going to be scary because Al Gorbel is here, and Al Gorbel is going to be getting in. And that one comes from Heir of Carthage from way back in the day. Shout out to our boy. And Gorbel, yes, is he going to stand idly and look, or is he going to be elboinking? He might not have the proper attack animation, hard to say. Okay, there he goes. He takes down a Skin Wolf right there. As the fight goes a little bit better for, I would say, the Beastmen. The Manticore is taking a lot of damage. We do see these Skin Wolves get routed off. Frontline fight going very good for the Beastmen as well, as you do see the Norskins getting routed back. Brutes of the Hound going to be doing some heavy lifting here, but heavily outnumbered. And, Bestigors hit hard. They have great weapons, which, are not exactly what you want against light armor, but it's not that they're bad against it. Just that a lot of the gold you're paying in that unit is invested in armor piercing, but still a charge bonus of 40, 38 melee attack, and 40-something weapon strength is really not bad on these guys. And the Brutes of the Hound start to pay the troll toll. You have to remember there's a chariot character here as well, so we do have the Great Bray Shaman of the Wild, and he's going to be rolling dirty through these guys and dropping a Devolve, which lowers their stats and their leadership as well. Granted, they are unbreakable, so it doesn't matter too much. Now, nice cheeky play here from Mr. Razak. Knowing that he's kind of losing out in the middle, he got a Hound Corps together and does a huge split push. Look at this. Wowza. 3 Marauder Horsemen, 2 Hound units, as well as a Skin Wolf, and he ninjas the back objective. So going to be really making Martinius work for it here, as Martinius does control the middle objective and has pretty firm clutches on it. And the thing is, with Korok's Mana Rippers being parked here, they have 91 of 100 models still. You could just sit those guys down anywhere over here, and all these big monstrous units that the Norskins really have left in their army are not going to be able to deal with them. So that's going to be very clutch. So the thing is, for Mr. Razak, as he rotates over here, he's like, I'm going to play your back objective now. Hope that lures Martinius back here, and then he can retake the middle somehow. Easier said than done. It's going to be very hard, but not impossible. Horsemen are in, using their javelins against the Destroyers of Drakkwald, but Destroyers of Drakkwald do have bronze shields, which means 35% of damage that's going to be coming from these units is going to be mitigated, or the small arms fire from like Marauder Horsemen equivalents. Sons of Goros are also parked here as well, and the capture weight is going to start coming back into the clutches of the Beastmen. And the Beastmen are, how are they looking on points? So currently, okay, Beastmen are still chilling, a little bit down out on points, but Norsca trying his best in the middle, but really having problems with the Armored Core. We saw, I can't remember who it was, but there was a player like a year ago, I remember, who started coming into tournaments with Beastmen, when Beastmen were kind of OP, actually. But he was just like steamrolling people with Bestigor herds. It was really funny, and nobody was expecting it, because Bestigor herds were so out of meta for so long, but Homeboy knows how to make them work. Good play for Mr. Razak, though, just gremlining the objectives, knowing that he does have a points lead. He's just kind of fighting tooth and nail to keep his points advantage, considering the value is not going his way. Beastmen going to be pulling back. A Pestigor herd is going to be called in. Pestigors are a sticky unit. They have poison, so when they hit you, they can slow you on down, and they do have the Tears of Nurgle, sad Nurgle here. And if they essentially get broken, it slows everybody around them, which is really nice for like chasing and desperate situations. Sons of Goros running down the Beasts of Tashnar. Beasts of Tashnar are normally okay against them, but they do get charged, and they do get hit with Devolve as well. Very cool, using the leadership discouraging effect. But Sons of Goros going to be getting lured into the Skin Wolves there, so nice play from both players. Martinius with the chase, and Mr. Razak with the counter push right there, but there are some Ungor Spears, which you could probably turn around and have a good fight. Beastmen really consolidate on Objective 1. And on the middle objective, the Korok's Mana Rippers hanging in there like champs, fighting against the chariots, and every attack from those halberds does a lot of damage. They have a bonus versus large of friggin' 20, man. Super, super thick. Burning Head attempt going to be going down, and will be hitting the Bestigors, and if it can get through the Ungor Spears, might be able to help break their leadership. We'll see. There's no terror-causing units nearby, but really looking like a commanding game for Martinius. However, he is behind on points, and Norsca is a faction that can play pretty well from behind. I can't tell you how many times, in the past couple years, I was playing games against Boss Toss, and I was up like 2,000 value against him, winning most of the trades, but he gremlins you with the frickin' Norscan Ice Wolves and the Skin Wolves and the Horsemen, and then forces you into over-maneuvering to try and keep up with them, and then he gets his value back against you by picking you off in transit. Very, very good play for sure. Bestigors, Korok's Mana Rippers going to be hanging out here. Skin Wolves are getting chewed up a little bit, but Norsca is now getting its capture weight. And see, that's what I'm saying. It's like playing ping pong, basically. But if the Beastmen and Martinius can rotate back with the Pestigors here, they should be comfortable. He's got a couple units AFK, so Martinius a little bit taxed on the micro here. But yeah, plenty of Beastmen units that should be able to reclaim the middle. But he does get a really good Traderkin. That's going to be hitting Wulfric. And Wulfric is in a really bad situation. He's actually trapped amongst the Korok's Mana Rippers. A little bit pinned in by his own Norscan Ice Wolves. And now the Beastmen going to be getting their entire Unga Bunga blob. Burning Head response from Norsca. Going to be cooking some Sons of Goros and breaking the leadership of some Bestigors. So even if it doesn't do a ton of damage, still breaks leadership. But that was a hell of a Beastmen onslaught. Now Mr. Razak going to be rotating to the back objective again. And just playing Benny Hill, basically. And you can see Martinius, though, is used to this. He's a veteran of many wars, many tournaments here. Gorbull coming in. Gorbull might be able to chase off the chariots and even get a kill on Wulfric if Wulfric stays the course. Manticore going to be diving in after Gorbull or into the fight here. The Beastmen seem to have this one on lock. Grog Hooves of Wolves run. We do have Sons of Goros. Korok's Mana Rippers are going to be able to rampage and probably take down this Manticore here, which is going to be uber cost effective. And on the backside, Mr. Razak still goblin moding this pretty well. Beastmen got the two objectives. Back objective not under any sort of threat as the Marauder Spearman is just on guard duty back there. And what do we have over here towards objective Uno? Yeah, a lot of weight coming in, a lot of capture weight, but the Beastmen are fast as well. I mean, their baseline infantry have like speed in the 30s and 40s, so very, very quick. But currently, each Marauder Horseman is going to be 4 capture weight. The Hounds are going to be, I think, 4 apiece as well. So that's a lot, but when the Zangor arrives in the back objective, it's going to shut that shit down, and it does. A couple of the Pestigors do get in combat and are going to be dragging down a couple of these horsemen here. It looks like maybe 1 or 2 of them will get dragged down. No, they actually all escape. And the Beastmen are going to be chortling on that point now. In the meantime, very dominant victory for the Beastmen in the middle, as for the first time in the game, it looks like they are going to be catching Mr. Razak on points. He's at 792, his opponent at 850, give or take. But they are getting 2 victory tickets a second to their opponent's 1. And I think the Gremlin moding is going to run out of steam here. He does have a lot of units parked on the edge of the objective. Marauder Horsemen going to be circling back, and they're going to go back to the middle now. But like such a crushing victory for the Beastmen in the middle, probably. Although, I don't know. Looks a little bit raggedy over here. Minotaurs are at 9 models. Gorbel is still fighting in there. You do have some spears here, and the Beastmen are definitely going to need some fresh reinforcements here. I mean, man, that Norscan play, I'm falling for the exact same trap I used to, just thinking you have it in the bag, and then these huge mobility blobs just start really giving you a lot of trouble. Trader Kin or Devolve is activated. Devolve is going to be lowering stats and speed. Grog Hooves are pretty good melee fighters, basically regular Centaurs. You could use them in combat if you need to. And the middle objective is going to be flipping to Norsca, it looks like. Just barely, though. As a couple Zangors going to be bouncing back in. Honestly, just charging with Centaurs here would be the right idea. They're just Norscan Warhounds, so they're not going to do well against a Centaur charge. Zangors coming in probably will give the needed capture weight to hold the objective, and it does. And that is pretty much the bat signal up in the sky for Mr. Razak of the Mighty Rat Clan to come in here and get his dudes rolling up on the points. Objective 1 is there, and over here we do see objective number 2 is contested, but being held by the Beastmen just barely. Now, Martinius has passed them in points. Is there any play on the back objective? Does not look like it. Martinius just basically doing everything he can to deal with the Gremlin play. Another Burning Head going to be coming in. Does manage to cook some Ungors. Very, very nice stuff. Capture weight still belongs to the Beastmen as the Zangors and Centaurs doing very, very well. Kiting some of these guys, using another Devolve on the Skinwolves here to lower their stats. Wonder how worth it that is, you know, the Devolve and those kind of buff spells. I mean, sometimes they are. I think Plague of Rust can be very good in a lot of matchups. Enfeebling Foe's all right. You know, there's a handful of decent ones, but I can't help but think just would that extra Winds of Magic in a long game, just using direct damage spells be better? I don't know. Plague of Rust is one of the examples. Plague of Rust with Cathay using Crowmen is extremely devastating, but look at this. Actually, brute force attempt by the Norscans on the backside. They're just going for it. Piling in their Horsemen, their Hounds, some Skinwolves to try and brute force this Beastmen army, and we're going to see if the Beastmen can react in time. Looking very comfortable in the middle. So the Beastmen do get this one. It's a couple Bestigors are going to be arriving, as well as some more Minotaurs with great weapons going to be engaging versus the Condom Wolves. Good micro for Mr. Razak, pulling back here as Martinius is going to be on the hunt. And the Beastmen just barely hold their objective here. Looks like they were able to force the beast back into their natural habitat. Well, the human Beastmen, the Norscans, yes, the caveman. The caveman habitat is not here. There are no caves for them to dwell in, but close enough. Here we have Brutes of the Hound. We do have some Chariots. Firecaster really going to be rearing to get a Burning Head right into this Goreherd and Bestigor blob. It's getting a little bit dangerous here for Mr. Razak. The points lead for Martinius is getting more and more substantial. The longer this goes, it could be forced into a triple cap situation here. Manticores are always really nice terror sticks, and on the backside it is going to be some more Marauder Spearmen being called in. But yeah, this fight, like all these Gremlin units, these like mobility harass pieces are not going to be good in sustained combat. And Tears of Nurgle is active now. That's really not good. They're all going to be super slow and basically trapped up in combat here by the scary cow people. Getting dragged down into the old mud and the brine and the grossness of the ground. As the Skinwolves pull around the backside, capture weight goes back to the Beastmen, and capture weight in the middle is in flux, actually. Beastmen mobility really, really going hard here, and they might be able to steal this objective. Man, Mr. Razak's micro, very, very impressive here this game, as is Martinius is having to deal with it. But he is threatening the point, keeping that perpetual pressure on the Beastmen player, not really letting the Beastmen player plant his feet in any one spot and, you know, throw. He's constantly moving around the outside, making sure he doesn't get caught with a power punch. A couple Centaurs, though, able to clean up the pursuing units here. We do see the Norscan Warhounds getting pushed back, and I would imagine that, yeah, having a Bestigor, this is literally like 5, 9, 13 capture weight that was not on this objective right now, so that actually does allow it to flip. However, I do think that it's going to be very doable here for the Beastmen to get this objective back, I would wager. With the Bestigors coming in, you can already see the capture weight is flipping back. Sons of Goros going to be coming in, and they do magic damage, which is really relevant against Skinwolves, which do have physical resist. So if they can get a square charge like this, it's going to be very, very good for the Centaur units. If they get in there with their boinking sticks, really going to be laying it into them. Gorbel fighting against the chariots, capture weight coming back for the Bray Herd. But this is a close enough game that if somehow Norsca can hold this objective, they could just win the game on the 2 objectives. But it's getting to the point where it's not like that anymore. All right, massive capture weight swing for the Beastmen. And here on the backside objective, we do see the Skin Wolves being dragged down by cost-effective cheap spears. And objective number 2 here looks like it's going to go full Beastmen. A lot of capture weight coming in, though. We do have several infantry and some Hound units, but I don't think it's going to be mattering here, as we do see the Norscan Ice Wolves getting broken and stirred up. And that probably seals the deal if it goes back to the Beastmen. I think that they're going to be able to just win on points, and the Beastmen are going to be able to prepare Helm's Deep here very, very soon. They just need to hold this for like another 20, 30 seconds. And basically, they're going to be able to win on a Helm's Deep. But they don't want to play too dangerously here. Yeah, you got to stay. You might need to sacrifice some of the Sons of Goros into this mobility blob. Here we do see the Brutes of the Hound being charged, but they did move off the objective, so these guys need to stay on the point. You cannot afford to flip this. It's very, very tight, this game. All right, Sons of Goros coming back in there. Charges coming in. Norsca's going all out, but they're mostly Marauder Horsemen in here and Hound units. A couple Marauder Spears are going to help, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So at this point, oh man, it's so close, actually. The Bray Shaman is back there, and yeah, as it stands, it's going to be a single victory here for the Great Bray Shaman. It already was for a little while, but that pretty much seals the deal. So big, ugly pit fight going down here between these Chaos factions, fighting over the Bretonnian village to see who's going to get the loot. I would wager the Bretonnians would probably want the Norscans to win. I think the Norscans would, obviously it would be awful, but Beastmen are next level scary, I think. And yeah, that is going to be it. GG, well played, amazing game. So that was a game that was very much in the battlefield control or combat control from Martinius. He was winning most of the fights, but Razak, his micro was so sweaty that he was able to pull back, a potential win condition, which was really good. I loved it. And his build was super mobile, right? Didn't have a lot of core combat pieces outside of the chariots and skin wolves and a couple spears here and there, but a lot of mobility, a lot of hit and run. Very fun to see. Traderkin's about 1,600. Gorbel did fine. The Wargore got his butt kicked early, but the Chad Bestigors really won that. Look at that. 1,400, 900, 1,000, 1,500. Love to see it. Great game by these champs. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you on the other side.